He thought locking his wife out in the cold would hurt her. He had no idea what he was about to lose. Welcome to Mr. Douglas Tales. May clarity find you in confusion, strength in weakness, and courage when the path ahead seems impossible. May you never lose yourself in someone else's shadow. And may you always remember, your worth is not defined by those who failed to see it. If this message resonates with you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories to life. Now let me tell you how one woman's world collapsed in a single frozen night, and how she fought back. The door locks behind her before she realizes she's outside. Claire turns. Her palm hits glass. The lobby lights are still on. Her purse sits on the reception desk where she set it down 30 seconds ago. The night security guard stands on the other side of the door. He doesn't move toward it. She knocks. He looks at his phone. She knocks harder. The cold finds her collarbone first, then her wrists. She wore the silk blouse because Daniel asked her to dress up for the anniversary dinner he canceled 2 hours ago. The guard's thumb moves across his screen. He doesn't look up. Claire pulls her blazer closed. February in Chicago doesn't wait. She left her coat upstairs, 23rd floor, her office, the one with her name still on it. She tries the handle again. Locked. The guard finally glances at her, then past her, then back to his phone. Her breath clouds the glass. She steps back. The concrete under her heels is salt-stained and wet. The parking garage is 2 blocks north. Her car is there. Her keys are in her purse. Inside. A taxi rolls past. She raises her hand, but it doesn't slow. The cold pushes through the silk now. Her arms cross over her chest. She should go back to the door. Make him look at her. Make him explain. She doesn't move. Another car passes. Then another. The street light above her flickers once and stays on. Claire turns and walks north. Each step pushes the cold deeper. Her toes go numb first, then her fingertips. The blazer is decorative. It doesn't block wind. She keeps walking. The parking garage keypad glows green 2 blocks ahead. She has the code memorized. 4 digits. She's used it every morning for 6 years. A man in a heavy coat passes her. He doesn't look at her face. She reaches the garage entrance. Her fingers hover over the keypad. The numbers blur slightly. She blinks and they clear. She presses 4 buttons. The light stays red. She tries again. Same 4 numbers, same order. Red. Her hand drops. She stares at the keypad. Someone changed the code. Today. Maybe an hour ago. Maybe while she was standing in Daniel's office listening to him explain why the dinner reservation had to be canceled. She should call him. Her phone is in her purse. Claire backs away from the keypad. The garage entrance camera points down at her. A small red light blinks beneath the lens. She turns left and keeps walking. 3 blocks down, a hotel sign glows yellow. She heads toward it. The cold is inside her clothes now. Her teeth want to chatter, but she holds them still. The hotel lobby is warm. Too warm. A clerk behind the desk looks up when she enters. "Do you have a reservation?" Claire opens her mouth. Nothing comes out for a second. Then, "No. We have availability." The clerk's fingers move across a keyboard. "Credit card and ID, please." "I don't have my wallet." The typing stops. The clerk looks at her. Not unkind, just waiting. "It's in my office," Claire says. "I was locked out." "Do you need me to call someone?" She should say yes. She should give Daniel's name, his direct line. Tell this woman to ask for the CEO and explain that his wife is standing in a hotel lobby in February without a coat. "No." The clerk nods slowly. "There's a police station 4 blocks west. They might be able to help." Claire turns and walks back outside. The cold feels sharper now, familiar. She heads west because the clerk gave her a direction, and directions are easier than choices. Her phone is in her purse, her wallet is in her purse, her keys, her ID, the business card from the lawyer she met with last month. The one she didn't tell Daniel about. She should have told him. Maybe she did. Maybe that's why the security guard wouldn't open the door. A bus stop shelter appears on her right. She steps inside. The plastic walls block some of the wind. She sits on the metal bench. The cold comes through her skirt immediately. A bus schedule is zip-tied to the shelter wall. She stares at it without reading. Footsteps approach. A woman in a parka stops outside the shelter, checks her phone, and keeps walking. Claire's hands are shaking now. She tucks them under her arms. She could wait here. Someone will come eventually. A bus, a taxi, someone who stops. The cold pushes deeper. Her jaw aches from holding still. She stands and keeps walking west. The police station is exactly where the clerk said it would be. Brick building. Blue lights above the entrance. Claire climbs the steps and pulls the door open. Warmth hits her face. A desk officer looks up. "Help you?" "I need to make a call." He slides a desk phone toward her. "Local?" She nods. He goes back to his paperwork. Claire stares at the phone. She knows Daniel's cell number. She's known it for 8 years. 7 digits. She could press them right now. Her hand doesn't move. "Miss?" She looks up. "You need the phone or not?" "I don't remember the number." The officer pulls the phone back. "You got ID? We can look someone up for you." "I don't have it." He sets his pen down. "What's your name?" "Claire Ashford." His expression doesn't change. He writes something down. "You live in the city?" "Gold Coast, Lakeshore Drive." "Address?" She tells him. He writes it down. "You want us to send a unit to check on you? Make sure everything's okay at home?" Home. The penthouse. 42nd floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows facing the lake. Daniel's coffee cup still on the counter from this morning. Her laptop open on the dining table where she left it. "No." The officer waits. "Can I just sit here?" Claire asks. "Just for a few minutes." He looks at her for a long moment. Then he nods toward a row of plastic chairs against the wall. "Long as you need." She sits. The chair is hard and cold, but she's out of the wind. Her hands are still shaking. She presses them flat against her thighs. The officer answers a phone call. His voice is low and steady. He laughs once. Then he hangs up and goes back to his paperwork. Claire closes her eyes. When she opens them, the clock on the wall says 20 minutes have passed. The officer glances at her. "You figure out that number yet?" She should call someone. Her sister in Denver. Her college roommate in Boston. Someone who isn't Daniel. No. He nods. Doesn't push. A door opens behind the desk. Another officer walks through, younger, holding a coffee. He glances at Claire, then at the desk officer. They exchange a look she can't read. The younger officer disappears through another door. Claire stands. "Thank you." The desk officer looks up. "You sure you're okay?" "Yes." He doesn't look convinced, but he doesn't stop her. She walks back outside. The cold is waiting. It wraps around her immediately. Her body wants to go back inside, but her legs keep moving. She heads south now, back toward the lake, back toward buildings she recognizes. A diner appears on her left. Yellow light spills onto the sidewalk. She can see people inside, warm people, people with coats and phones and wallets. She keeps walking. Her building is 12 blocks south. She could go there, ring the buzzer, tell the doorman she forgot her keys. He knows her face. He's worked there for 3 years. He'll let her in, or he won't. Claire stops walking. She's standing in front of a department store. The windows are dark. A sale sign is taped to the glass. 60% off winter coats. She almost laughs. The sound catches in her throat and stays there. Her reflection stares back at her. Hair still neat. Makeup still in place. Silk blouse, pencil skirt, blazer. She looks like someone who belongs in a corner office. Someone who signs contracts and approves budgets. Someone who should be inside. She turns away from the window and keeps walking south. The lake appears ahead. Dark water stretching into darkness. No horizon. Just cold and space and the sound of waves hitting concrete. She stops at the railing. The wind off the water is brutal. It cuts through everything. Her blazer, her blouse, her skin. She should move, find shelter, go somewhere warm. She stays. Below her, the waves hit the breaker wall and pull back. Hit and pull back. The rhythm is steady, mechanical. It doesn't stop for cold or time or people standing on the walkway in silk blouses. Her hands grip the railing. The metal is ice against her palms. She thinks about the security guard, his thumb on his phone, the way he looked past her instead of at her. Someone gave him instructions. Someone told him not to open the door. The cold is deep in her chest now. Each breath aches. She should let go of the railing. Walk away from the lake. Find a place that's warm and bright and full of people who will help her. She doesn't move. Footsteps approach behind her. Heavy. Slow. Then they stop. Miss? She turns. A police officer stands 6 feet away. Different officer. Older. His hand rests on his belt, but his posture is loose. You okay? He asks. Claire nods. He doesn't look convinced. Cold night to be out here. I know. He waits. She doesn't say anything else. You need help getting somewhere? He asks. No. You got a phone? No. His eyes move over her, taking inventory. Blouse, skirt, heels. No coat, no bag, no phone. He's adding it up. The equation doesn't balance. You live nearby? He asks. Yes. Walking distance? Yes. He nods slowly. Maybe you should head there. Warm up. She should agree. Thank him. Walk away. Okay, she says, but she doesn't move. The officer steps closer, not threatening, just present. You sure you're okay? My husband locked me out. The words come out flat. No emotion, just fact. The officer's expression doesn't change. Out of your home? Out of my office. He waits. His office, Claire corrects. His building. You work there? I did. The officer pulls out a notepad. What's the address? She tells him. He writes it down. Your husband owned the building? He asks. Yes. He know you're out here? Yes. The pen stops moving. The officer looks at her. Really looks at her. You want to file a report? She should say yes. Give him Daniel's name. Explain that she was removed from the building without her. Belongings. No warning. No explanation. Just locked out in February wearing silk. No. He closes the notepad. You got somewhere safe to go tonight? Yes. You need a ride there? She shakes her head. He hands her a card. That's the domestic violence hotline. They can help you find resources. Claire takes the card. It's warm from his pocket. She holds it between her thumb and finger. Thank you. The officer nods. He doesn't leave immediately. He stands there, waiting to see if she'll change her mind, waiting to see if she'll ask for help. She doesn't. Finally, he walks away. His footsteps fade into the sound of the waves. Claire looks at the card. White background, blue text, a phone number. She could call it right now. Walk back to the police station and use their phone. Tell someone what happened. She puts the card in her blazer pocket. The lake is still in front of her, still dark, still cold, still moving. She turns away and heads south. The building appears 3 blocks later. 42 stories. Glass and steel. Her building. Daniel's building. Their building. She stops across the street. The lobby lights are on. Through the glass doors, she can see the front desk. Marcus is there. Night doorman. He's worked the overnight shift for 3 years. He knows her schedule. Knows she sometimes comes home late from the office. Knows her face. Claire crosses the street. Each step feels heavier than the last. She reaches the door. Marcus looks up. His expression shifts. Recognition, then confusion, then something careful and controlled. He doesn't move toward the door. She raises her hand, knocks. Marcus stands. He walks to the door but doesn't open it. "Mrs. Ashford." His voice is muffled through the glass. "I need to come in," she says. "I don't have my keys." Marcus glances over his shoulder, then back at her. "I need to make a call first. I live here." "I know. I just need to—" He pulls out his phone. Claire watches him dial, watches him wait, watches his mouth move. She can't hear the words, but she can see his posture. Straight. Formal. The way people stand when they're talking to someone who makes decisions. He hangs up. Looks at her through the glass. "I'm sorry, Mrs. Ashford. I can't let you in right now." The cold doesn't feel like cold anymore. It feels like absence, like the space where warmth used to be. "Why not?" Marcus's jaw tightens. "I have my instructions." "From who?" He doesn't answer. "From Daniel?" Still nothing. Claire steps closer to the door. "I live here, Marcus. 42nd floor. Unit 4207. I've lived here for 6 years." "I know." "So open the door." "I can't." "Why not?" His eyes drop. "I'm sorry." Claire's hand presses against the glass. The cold transfers from her palm to the surface. "Please." Marcus backs away from the door. "I'm sorry," he says again. Then he turns and walks back to the desk. Claire stands there. Her hand is still on the glass. She can see. Her palm print forming in the condensation. 5 fingers. A life. Proof that she's real and cold and standing here. She pulls her hand back. The print fades slowly, disappearing, like it was never there. She turns and walks away from the building, away from the lobby, away from Marcus and his instructions and whoever gave them to him. The streets are emptier now. Later, past midnight. The cold has teeth now. It bites and holds. Claire keeps walking. No direction. No plan. Just motion, because stopping means thinking, and thinking means feeling, and feeling is too big for her body right now. A hotel sign glows 2 blocks ahead. Different hotel. Red letters. She walks toward it. The lobby is smaller than the first one. Warmer. A clerk sits behind the desk, older woman reading a paperback. She looks up when Claire enters. Her eyes take in everything. The blouse, the skirt, the shaking hands. "Do you need help, honey?" The kindness in her voice almost breaks something. Claire holds it together, barely. "I need a room." "Do you have a credit card?" "No." The clerk sets her book down. "ID?" "No." The woman stands. She's shorter than Claire, rounder. She moves around the desk and stops 3 feet away. "You in trouble?" Claire shakes her head. "You sure?" "I just need somewhere warm." The clerk studies her. Then she nods. "Wait here." She disappears through a door behind the desk. Claire can hear voices. Low. Too quiet to make out words. The clerk returns with a key card. "Room 307, 3rd floor. There's towels and a coffee maker. Checkout is 11. Claire stares at the key. "I can't pay." "I know." "I'll come back. I'll bring cash." The clerk presses the key into Claire's hand. "Just get warm, honey." Claire's fingers close around the plastic. "Thank you." "You need anything else?" She should ask for a phone. Call her sister, her lawyer, someone. "No." The clerk nods. "Elevator's on your right." Claire walks to the elevator, presses the button. The doors open immediately. She steps inside. The elevator is small and slow. It lurches upward. Claire watches the numbers climb. 1, 2, 3. The doors open. The hallway is narrow and dim, carpet worn thin in the middle. She finds 307 at the end, slides the key card. The light blinks green. She pushes the door open. The room is small. 1 bed, 1 chair, a bathroom with the door half open. It smells like industrial soap and old heating systems. It's warm. Claire closes the door, locks it, slides the chain into place. Then she sits on the bed. Her body doesn't know what to do with warmth. For a long time, she just shakes. Her teeth finally chatter. Her hands won't stay still. She pulls the blanket around her shoulders. The fabric is rough and thin, but it's something. She sits there until the shaking slows, until her teeth stop, until her hands remember how to be still. The room is quiet. No waves, no wind, no voices through glass. Just quiet. Claire lies, down. The pillow is flat and smells like bleach. She pulls the blanket over her head. Sleep doesn't come. She just lies there in the warm dark, feeling her body remember what it's supposed to feel like. Light comes through the curtains too early. Claire opens her eyes. The room looks worse in daylight. Stains on the ceiling, crack in the mirror, but it's still warm. She sits up. Her body aches, stiff. The kind of stiff that comes from cold that went too deep. She stands and walks to the bathroom, looks at herself in the mirror. Her makeup is smeared. Her hair is flat on one side. Her blouse is wrinkled. She looks like someone who spent the night in a cheap hotel. She is someone who spent the night in a cheap hotel. Claire turns on the faucet. The water runs cold, then warm, then hot. She washes her face with hotel soap. It stings. She doesn't care. When she's done, her face is clean, raw, red around the eyes. She walks back into the room. The clock on the nightstand says 9:47. Checkout is at 11. She needs to leave, go somewhere, do something. She has no phone, no money, no keys, no ID. She sits on the bed and stares at the wall. A knock interrupts the quiet. Claire stands, walks to the door. Yes? Housekeeping. I'm still here. Okay. Sorry. Footsteps move away. Claire sits back down. Another knock. Different knock. Heavier. Mrs. Ashford? She freezes. Claire? It's Robert. Robert. Daniel's head of security. Former police detective. 6'3". Shaved head. The man who coordinates everything from event security to building access to employee background checks. The man who would give instructions to night doormen and security guards. Claire doesn't move. I know you're in there, Robert says. His voice is calm, professional. The front desk called me. I just want to talk. She stays silent. I'm not here to cause problems, he continues. I'm here to help. Help. The word sounds wrong coming from him. I'm alone, he adds. Just me, no one else. Claire walks to the door. She doesn't open it. What do you want? To talk. 5 minutes. About what? About last night. She unlocks the chain, opens the door 6 inches. Robert stands in the hallway. Dark suit, no tie. He looks tired. Can I come in? No. He nods. Fair enough. He glances down the hallway, then back at her. I didn't know they were going to do it that way. Do what? Lock you out. Cut your access. He pauses. I was told it was a security update. Company-wide. I didn't know it was targeted until after it was done. Claire says nothing. I would have handled it differently, Robert continues. Given you time to collect your things. Arranged for your car. But you didn't. No. Because Daniel told you not to. Robert's expression doesn't change. I take my instructions from the CEO. He's your boss. I'm his wife. I know. So you chose him. Robert shifts his weight. It's not about choosing. What's it about? Following protocol. Claire almost laughs. Protocol for locking someone out in February without their coat? He has the decency to look uncomfortable. No, that wasn't protocol. That was... He stops. What? A mistake. Whose mistake? Robert doesn't answer. Claire steps back, starts to close the door. Wait! Robert puts his hand on the door, not pushing, just stopping it. I brought your things. She stops. Your purse, your coat, your keys. He pulls a large black bag from behind him, sets it on the floor. Everything from your office and your desk. It's all here. Claire stares at the bag. I also brought this. Robert reaches into his jacket and pulls out an envelope. White, thick. From Mr. Ashford's attorney. She doesn't take it. Robert sets it on top of the bag. You should read it. I don't want to read it. I know. But you should. Claire looks at him. Why are you doing this? Doing what? Being nice. Pretending you care. Robert's jaw tightens. I do care. You locked me out. I followed instructions. Same thing. No, Robert says. It's not. Claire picks up the bag. It's heavier than she expected. She sets it inside the room. The envelope, Robert prompts. She picks it up. Holds it. The paper is expensive. Heavy stock. There's also this. Robert hands her a phone. Not her phone. A new one. Prepaid. Fully charged. My number's programmed in. You need anything, you call me. Why would I call you? Because you might need help, and because I owe you. You don't owe me anything. Yeah, Robert says quietly. I do. Claire takes the phone, slips it into her blazer pocket next to the domestic violence hotline card. I'm sorry about last night, Robert says. It shouldn't have happened like that. But it did. Yeah, it did. He steps back, gives her space. You take care of yourself, Mrs. Ashford. It's just Claire now. Robert nods. Claire. He turns and walks down the hallway. Doesn't look back. Claire closes the door, locks it, slides the chain back into place. She picks up the bag and sets it on the bed, unzips it slowly. Her purse is on top. Underneath, her coat, folded neatly. Then her laptop, a framed photo from her desk, the coffee mug she kept in her drawer, everything from her office, packed carefully, like someone took time. She pulls out her purse, opens it. Her wallet is there. Her phone, dead, but there. Her keys, the business card from the lawyer. Everything she needed last night, 8 hours too late. Claire sets the purse aside and picks up the envelope. It's sealed. Her name is on the front. Typed. Professional. She opens it. Inside, there are papers, legal documents, dense paragraphs, formal language. She reads the first page. Divorce petition. She reads it again. The words don't change. Daniel filed first, 2 weeks ago, before the anniversary dinner, before the lockout, before any of it. Claire sits down on the bed, reads the next page, then the next. He's claiming abandonment, irreconcilable differences. He's requesting full control of marital assets pending division. Temporary restraining order against accessing joint accounts. Immediate removal from all company systems and properties. She keeps reading. He's asking for the penthouse, the car, everything. He's offering her $20,000 and 60 days to vacate. Claire sets the papers down, stares at the wall. 8 years, 6 in the company, 2 as his wife. Before that, 3 years building the business together. Late nights, shared risks, her investment, her ideas, her work. $20,000. She picks up her phone. It takes 5 minutes to charge enough to turn on. When it does, there are 43 missed calls, 30 from numbers she doesn't recognize, 13 from her sister. No calls from Daniel. She opens her text messages. Nothing from him. 3 from her sister. The last one says, Claire, please call me. I'm worried. She doesn't call. Instead, she opens her email. The app loads slowly. When it does, her inbox is full. Notices from the bank. Alert from her credit card. Message from building management. She opens the bank notice first. Joint account closed. Balance transferred. New account opened in Daniel's name only. She opens the credit card alert. Card declined. Account suspended. Pending review. She opens the building management message. Lease terminated. Unit 4207 no longer available. Personal belongings will be stored for 30 days. Contact building management to arrange pickup. Claire sets the phone down. She sits there, breathing, in and out, steady, controlled. Then she picks up the phone and dials her sister. 3 rings. Then, Claire? Hey. Oh my God, where are you? I've been calling. I'm fine. You're not fine. What happened? Daniel's assistant called me yesterday. Said you left work early and weren't answering your phone. Are you okay? I'm in a hotel. Silence. Then, why? Daniel filed for divorce. More silence. Amy? I'm here. Her sister's voice is tight. When? 2 weeks ago. I just found out. He didn't tell you? No. Jesus Christ. Claire closes her eyes. Can I come stay with you? Yes, of course. When? Today. Today. Claire, you're in Chicago. I'm in Denver. I know. How are you going to get here? Good question. Claire looks at her wallet, opens it. 3 credit cards, all probably declined. $47 in cash. I'll figure it out, she says. I can send you money. Western Union, you can pick it up today. Okay. And I'll book you a flight. What airport are you near? O'Hare. Okay, let me call you back. 10 minutes. Amy? Yeah? Thank you. You don't have to thank me. Just get here. The line goes dead. Claire sets the phone down, looks around the room. At the bag on the bed, at her coat, at the envelope full of legal documents that say her marriage is over, and she has 60 days to disappear. She stands, picks up her coat, puts it on. The fabric is warm and soft and familiar. She picks up her purse, slings it over her shoulder. She leaves the legal documents on the bed, doesn't fold them, doesn't put them away, just leaves them there. Then she walks out of the room and doesn't look back. The Western Union counter is inside a convenience store 6 blocks from the hotel. Claire waits in line behind a man buying lottery tickets. Her phone buzzes. Text from Amy. Sent $500. Should be there. Flight's at 6 p.m. Confirmation sent to your email. Claire opens her email. The flight confirmation is there. One way. Chicago to Denver. Economy. The man ahead of her finishes. Claire steps forward. Help you? The clerk is young. Bored. I'm picking up a transfer. ID. Claire hands over her driver's license. The clerk scans it. Types. Waits. 500? Yes. Sign here. Claire signs. The clerk counts out bills. 1050s. Slides. Them across the counter. Thanks. Claire takes the money. Folds it. Puts it in her wallet. She walks outside. Checks the time. 11:23. The flight is at 6. She has time. She pulls out the phone Robert gave her. His number is labeled Robert Security. She stares at it, thinks about calling, asking questions, getting answers. She doesn't call. Instead, she opens a map app, types O'Hare International Airport. The route appears. Blue line cutting across the city. 43 minutes by train. She heads toward the nearest station. The platform is crowded. Morning commuters mixing with midday travelers. Claire stands near the edge, waiting. A train arrives. Doors open. People pour out. She steps inside. The car is half full. She finds a seat near the window, sits, sets her purse on her lap. The train lurches forward. Chicago slides past. Buildings, streets, people living their lives, going to work, coming home, existing in the ordinary motion of a Friday morning. Claire watches it all pass. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. She ignores it. It buzzes again. Same number. She answers. Hello? Claire Ashford? Yes. This is Jennifer Marks. I'm an attorney with Keller and Associates. I represent Daniel Ashford. Claire doesn't respond. I wanted to reach out personally, Jennifer continues, to discuss the settlement terms. I think we can reach an agreement that works for everyone. $20,000. That's the initial offer, yes. But there's room for negotiation. How much room? That depends on several factors. How quickly we can resolve this, whether we can avoid litigation, your willingness to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Claire watches the city pass. What if I don't sign? Then things get more complicated and expensive for both of you, but mostly for me. Jennifer pauses. I'm trying to help you, Mrs. Ashford. No, you're not. You're trying to help Daniel. I'm trying to facilitate a clean separation, one that allows both of you to move forward. For $20,000. That's just the starting point. Like I said, we can negotiate. The train pulls into a station. Doors open, more people board. A woman with a stroller, a man with a briefcase. Normal people. People who aren't having this conversation. I need to think about it, Claire says. Of course, take your time. But I should mention, the offer has an expiration date. 2 weeks. After that, we move forward with the petition as filed. Which means what? Which means we go to court and things get public and expensive for both of us. More so for you. Claire closes her eyes. I'll call you back. Please do. I think we can work something out that... Claire hangs up. She sits there, phone in her hand, the train moving beneath her, carrying her away from Chicago, away from Daniel, away from everything she built. Her phone buzzes again. Different number this time. She doesn't answer. It goes to voicemail. Immediately buzzes again. Text message from the same number. She opens it. This is Sarah Chen. I'm a reporter with the Tribune. I'm working on a story about your husband's company. I'd like to talk to you. Please call me. Claire deletes the message. Another text comes in. Different number. Mrs. Ashford, this is Marcus Webb, Chicago Sun-Times. I'd like to discuss your recent departure from Ashford Industries. Are you available for comment? Delete. Another. Claire, it's David Kim from Channel 7 News. We're covering the Ashford Industries story. I think you should hear what people are saying before it goes to air. Call me. Delete. Claire turns off the phone, slips it back into her pocket. The train arrives at O'Hare 40 minutes later. She follows the crowd through the station, up the escalator into the terminal. The airport is busy. Holiday travelers, business people, families. Claire weaves through them toward the departures board. Her flight is listed. On time. Gate C17. She heads toward security. The line is long. She takes her place at the end. Waits. 15 minutes later, she reaches the checkpoint. Hands over her ID and boarding pass. The TSA agent scans them, looks at her face, looks at the photo. You're all set. Claire takes her documents back, walks through the metal detector. It doesn't beep. She collects her things. Coat, purse, phone. Puts her shoes back on. Then she walks toward gate C17. The terminal is generic. Same stores, same restaurants, same announcements echoing over speakers. She finds the gate and sits. Her phone is still off. She leaves it that way. Time passes, slow, then fast, then slow again. An announcement. Now boarding all passengers for Flight 447 to Denver. Claire stands, gets in line, hands her boarding pass to the gate agent, walks down the jetway. The plane is small, single aisle. She finds her seat, 23B, middle seat. A woman is already in the window seat, reading a magazine. Claire puts her bag in the overhead bin, sits down. The woman glances at her, smiles politely, goes back to her magazine. Claire buckles her seatbelt, stares at the seat in front of her. More people board. The plane fills. A man takes the aisle seat, large. He has to angle his shoulders to fit. The flight attendant goes through the safety demonstration. Claire doesn't watch. The plane pushes back from the gate, taxis toward the runway, waits, then it accelerates. The nose lifts. The ground falls away. Chicago disappears beneath clouds. Claire closes her eyes. Denver is colder than Chicago. Claire wasn't expecting that. She walks through the terminal, finds baggage claim. She has no luggage, but Amy said she'd meet her there. She scans the crowd, families, drivers holding signs, couples reuniting. Then she sees her. Amy. Standing near the exit, brown coat, jeans, hair shorter than Claire remembers. Their eyes meet. Amy walks toward her, fast. Then she's there, arms around Claire, holding tight. I'm okay. Claire says. Amy doesn't let go. I know. They stand there. Airport noise around them, people passing, life continuing. Finally, Amy pulls back, looks at Claire's face. You look terrible. Thanks. I mean it. You look like you haven't slept in a week. Just one night. Amy's jaw tightens. Come on, let's get you home. They walk to the parking garage. Amy's car is on the 3rd level, a Honda Civic, 8 years old, dented bumper. Claire gets in the passenger seat. Amy starts the engine. Heat pours from the vents. You hungry? She asks. Claire hasn't eaten since yesterday morning. No. You're eating anyway. They stop at a diner on the way to Amy's apartment. Vinyl booths, laminate tables, a waitress who looks tired. Amy orders for both of them, soup, sandwiches, coffee. Claire picks at her food, gets through half the sandwich, drinks the coffee. Tell me what happened, Amy says. Claire sets her cup down. He filed 2 weeks ago. I didn't know. Yesterday he had me locked out of the office, out of the building, out of our apartment. I spent last night in a hotel. Jesus! This morning, his head of security showed up, gave me my stuff, and divorce papers. What do the papers say? He wants everything. I get 20,000 and 60 days. Amy goes very still. Are you serious? Yes. You built that company with him. I know. You invested your own money, your savings. I know. How much? Claire looks out the window. 150,000. And he's offering you 20. Yes. Amy leans back, breathes out slowly. Okay. So we get you a lawyer, a good one, someone who can fight this. I already have one. I met with her last month. You knew? No, Claire stops. I had a feeling. Things were off. He was distant, working late, not answering questions. So you prepared. I tried to. Good. Call her. Today. Tell her what happened. Okay. And you're staying with me. As long as you need. I have 60 days. You have forever. This is your home now. Claire's throat tightens. She swallows. Thank you. Amy reaches across the table, takes Claire's hand. You're my sister. You don't thank me for this. They sit there, hands connected, the diner moving around them. Finally, Amy pulls back, signals the waitress for the check. They drive to Amy's apartment. It's small, 1 bedroom. Amy says Claire can take the bed. She'll take the couch. Claire doesn't argue. She takes a shower, hot water, steam filling the bathroom. She stands there until the heat goes deep. When she gets out, Amy has left clothes on the bed. Sweatpants, a t-shirt, thick socks. Claire puts them on, sits on the bed, turns on her phone. 37 new messages, 12 voicemails. She ignores them all and calls her lawyer. It rings 4 times. Then, Elizabeth Hart. It's Claire Ashford. Claire, I've been trying to reach you. Have you seen the papers? Yes. And? I'm not signing. Good. We need to talk. Can you come in Monday? Yes. 9 a.m. I'll be there. Claire, this is going to get ugly. I know. He has resources, a full legal team. This won't be quick or easy. I don't care. Elizabeth pauses. Okay. Monday. Bring everything you have. Documents, emails, anything that proves your investment and involvement in the company. Okay. And Claire, don't talk to anyone. No reporters, no friends of his, no one from the company. I won't. See you Monday. The line goes dead. Claire sets the phone down, lies back on the bed, stares at the ceiling. She should feel something. Anger, fear, sadness, something. She feels nothing, just tired. The kind of tired that goes deeper than sleep can reach. She closes her eyes. When she opens them, the room is dark. She checks her phone. 11:47 p.m. She slept for 9 hours. Amy is asleep on the couch. Claire can see her through the open bedroom door. Curled up under a blanket, TV still on, volume low. Claire gets up, walks to the kitchen, opens the refrigerator. The light is bright, Harsh. She finds orange juice, pours a glass, drinks it standing there. Her phone is on the counter. She picks it up, opens her email, a new message, sent an hour ago, from an address she doesn't recognize. Subject line, "You should see this." She opens it. No text, just a link. She clicks it. A news article loads. Chicago Tribune, posted 6 hours ago. The headline reads, Ashford Industries CEO files for divorce amid company expansion. Claire reads the article. It's short, factual. It mentions the divorce filing, mentions her by name, mentions that she was employed by the company until recently. Then it mentions something else. A new investor, major capital infusion, $3 million. Announced yesterday. The investor's name is Rebecca Torres. Claire reads that line again. Rebecca Torres. She knows that name. Daniel mentioned her. 6 months ago, maybe longer, a potential client, someone he was meeting with, someone who might invest, someone he was meeting with a lot. Claire sets the phone down, walks back to the bedroom, closes the door, sits on the bed. Rebecca Torres. She opens her laptop, types the name into a search engine. The results fill the screen. Rebecca Torres, age 34, venture capitalist, tech investor, based in Chicago, previously worked at 2 major firms, started her own fund 3 years ago. Claire clicks on images, photos load, professional headshots, conference photos, candid shots from events. Rebecca is beautiful. Dark hair, sharp cheekbones, the kind of face that looks good in photographs. Claire clicks through them, stops on one, a fundraiser, 6 months ago. Daniel is in the photo, standing next to Rebecca. They're both smiling. His hand is on her lower back. Claire closes the laptop. She sits there in the dark. The room is silent, the kind of silence that fills up space. She picks up her phone, opens her messages, scrolls until she finds Daniel's number. Her thumb hovers over it. Then she puts the phone down. She lies back, stares at the ceiling, waits for morning. Monday arrives cold and bright. Claire takes the bus to Elizabeth's office, downtown Denver, 14th floor. The reception area is small, neat. A woman at the front desk looks up. Claire Ashford? Yes. She's expecting you. Down the hall, last door on the right. Claire walks down the hall, knocks. Come in. Elizabeth's office is larger than the reception area. Windows on 2 walls, a desk covered in papers. Elizabeth sits behind it. Mid-50s, gray hair, sharp eyes. Sit. Claire sits. Elizabeth pulls out a folder, opens it. I've reviewed the petition. It's aggressive, but we can fight it. How? You invested capital, correct? Yes, $150,000. Do you have documentation? Bank transfers, dated and signed. Good. You also worked for the company. What was your role? Operations director. Before that, consultant. Before that, co-founder. Co-founder? Yes. We started it together. Before we were married. Elizabeth writes something down. How long were you involved before the marriage? 3 years. And during the marriage? 6 years. Total of 9 years in the company. What were your responsibilities? Everything. At first. Later, operations. Vendor relationships, systems. Hiring. Did you have a contract? No. Employment agreement? No. Elizabeth sets her pen down. That's a problem. I know. Without documentation, it's your word against his, and he controls the company records. What about my investment? We can prove that. The transfers are documented, but proving your ongoing contribution is harder. Claire leans forward. I built that company with him. I was there every day, late nights, weekends, every major decision, every crisis, I was there. I believe you, but a judge needs evidence. What kind of evidence? Emails, documents, meeting notes, anything that shows your involvement and decision-making authority. Claire thinks. I have emails. On my laptop. Years of them. Good. I need copies. All of them. Okay. What about witnesses? Anyone who can testify to your role? Claire runs through names in her head. Maybe. Most of the early employees are gone. He's hired new people. What about board members? There is no board. It's privately held. Daniel has majority control. What's the split? 60-40. He has 60%. Elizabeth writes that down. How was that determined? He put in more initial capital. I put in sweat equity and a smaller investment. And you agreed to that split? Yes. In writing? Yes. There's an operating agreement. I need a copy. I don't have one. Where is it? With the company records. His lawyer probably has it. Elizabeth nods. We'll request it in Discovery. She closes the folder. Here's what we're looking at. He's offering 20,000. We're going to counter with a much larger number. I'm thinking 600,000. That's not enough. It's a starting point. I want half. 50% of the company value. Elizabeth looks at her. Based on what? Based on 9 years of work. 9 years of my life. You own 40% on paper. The company wouldn't exist without me. Can you prove that? Claire doesn't answer. Elizabeth leans back. Look, I understand you're angry. You have every right to be. But we need to be strategic. Asking for 50% when you own 40 on paper, that's a hard sell. So what do we ask for? Fair market value of your 40% stake, plus compensation for your labor, plus return of your initial investment. How much is that? Depends on the company valuation. What was the last valuation? 12 million. That was a year ago. With the new investment, it's probably higher. Elizabeth does math on a notepad. 40% of 12 million is 4.8 million, but that's pre-investment. Post-investment, it could be higher. Call it 5 million. He's offering 20,000. I know. That's insulting. It is. That's why we're not accepting it. Claire sits back. How long will this take? 6 months, maybe a year. Depends on how hard he fights. He'll fight. Then it takes longer. I can't wait a year. You might have to. I have 60 days to vacate the apartment. We can file for temporary support. Get you living expenses while the case proceeds. Will that work? Maybe. If we can show you have no income and no access to marital assets. I don't. Then we have a case. Elizabeth stands, walks to the window, looks out at Denver. There's something else you should know. What? I've been doing research on your husband's company. Ashford Industries, the new investor, Rebecca Torres. Claire's stomach tightens. What about her? She's not just an investor. She's been named Chief Strategy Officer, effective last week. What? Elizabeth turns. It's public record. Filed with the state. She's now an officer of the company. That was my position. I know. Claire stands, walks to the window, stands next to Elizabeth. The city stretches out below them, cold and bright and full of people living their lives. He replaced me, Claire says. It looks that way. With her? Yes. Claire presses her hand against the glass. It's cold. How long? How long what? How long has he been planning this? Elizabeth doesn't answer immediately. Then, I don't know. But the timing suggests at least 6 months, maybe longer. 6 months. The fundraisers, the late meetings, the distance, all of it. I'm going to destroy him, Claire says. Elizabeth looks at her. That's the anger talking. No, that's the plan. Claire, he took everything. My job. My home. My money. He replaced me. He humiliated me. He locked me out in February without my coat. I know. So, I'm going to take it back. How? Claire turns from the window, looks at Elizabeth. I don't know yet, but I will. Elizabeth studies her. You need to be careful. Men like Daniel, when they feel threatened, they escalate. Let him. I'm serious. He has resources, power, connections. So do I. Do you? Claire doesn't answer. Elizabeth walks back to her desk, sits. Here's what we're going to do. We file a response to the petition. We request discovery. We ask for temporary support. We build a case, and we wait. I'm not good at waiting. You're going to have to learn. Claire sits back down. What do you need from me? Everything. Every email, every document, every piece of evidence that shows your involvement in the company, and I need it by Friday. That's 4 days. I know. My laptop is old. I haven't backed up in months. Then start now. Claire nods, stands. Okay. Claire, she stops. This is going to get worse before it gets better. You need to be ready for that. I'm ready. I hope so. Claire walks out, down the hall, through reception, into the elevator. She rides down 14 floors, walks out into the Denver morning. The cold hits her immediately. She pulls her coat tighter, walks to the bus stop. While she waits, she pulls out her phone, opens her email, starts scrolling through years of messages. There are thousands, too many to read, too many to sort through in 4 days, but she'll do it anyway. The bus arrives, she gets on, finds a seat, opens her laptop, and she starts reading. 4 days later, Claire walks back into Elizabeth's office. She's carrying a thumb drive and a folder 3 inches thick. Elizabeth looks up. Is that everything? Everything I could find. Elizabeth takes the thumb drive, plugs it into her computer, opens the folder, starts reading. Claire sits, waits. After 20 minutes, Elizabeth looks up. This is good. Really good. Yeah? You were more involved than I thought. These emails show decision-making authority, budget approvals, vendor negotiations, hiring decisions. I told you. I know. But now we can prove it. Elizabeth clicks through more files. This meeting note from 3 years ago. You and Daniel discussing expansion strategy. Your ideas are all over this. That was my plan. I wrote it. Did he use it? Yes. All of it. Elizabeth makes a note. This is exactly what we need. She keeps scrolling. Stops. Wait, what's this? Claire leans forward. What? Elizabeth turns the laptop around. An email chain. Dated 4 months ago. From Daniel to Rebecca Torres. Subject line, transition plan. Claire reads it. Her chest tightens. The email outlines a plan. Gradual reduction of Claire's responsibilities. Transfer of her duties to Rebecca. Timeline, 6 months. He was planning this, Elizabeth says. 4 months ago. Claire keeps reading. There's more. Daniel mentions the divorce, says it's inevitable, says he needs to protect the company during the transition. Then Rebecca's response, I understand. Let me know how I can help. Claire sits back. She knew. Looks like it. She knew he was going to divorce me, and she took my job anyway. Elizabeth closes the laptop. This helps us, a lot. It shows premeditation, planning, intent to exclude you. Can we use it? Absolutely. Claire stands, walks to the window. She's done this before. Stood here, looked out at the city, felt small and powerless. She doesn't feel small anymore. I want to countersue, she says. Elizabeth looks up. For what? Fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, whatever applies. That's ambitious. Can we do it? Maybe. If we can prove he intentionally devalued your stake or misrepresented the company's value. He did. Can you prove it? Claire turns. Give me a week. To do what? To find proof. Elizabeth shakes her head. Claire, you don't have access to company records. You can't just walk in and start digging. I'm not going to walk in. Then what are you going to do? Claire doesn't answer. Elizabeth stands. Walks around the desk. Listen to me. Whatever you're thinking, don't. You go after him illegally, it destroys our case. You understand? I understand. Do you? Because you have that look. What look? The look that says you're about to do something stupid. Claire almost smiles. I'm not. Promise me. I promise I won't do anything illegal. That's not the same as promising you won't do anything stupid. I know. Elizabeth sighs, walks back to her desk, sits. Go home, Claire. Let me handle this. Okay. I'm serious. I know. Claire walks out, takes the elevator down, steps into the street. She pulls out her phone, opens her contacts, scrolls to a name she hasn't used in years. Tyler Reed. They worked together. Early, days of the company, before Daniel pushed him out. Tyler was tech lead. Smart. Loyal. Daniel fired him over a disagreement about company direction. Claire sent Tyler a message after he was fired. Apologized. Offered to help him find something new. He never responded. She calls his number now. It rings. 4 times. 5. Then, hello? Tyler, it's Claire Ashford. Silence. I know it's been a long time, she continues, but I need to talk to you. About what? About Daniel, about the company. More silence. Tyler, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Can we meet? Why would I want to meet with you? Because I'm going after him, and I think you can help. Long pause. Then, when? They meet at a coffee shop on the edge of downtown. Claire arrives first, orders tea, sits by the window. Tyler arrives 10 minutes later. He looks different. Thinner. Beard. Older than she remembers. He sits across from her. Doesn't order anything. Thanks for coming, Claire says. I almost didn't. I know. So what do you want? Information. About what? The company. What Daniel did after you left. Tyler leans back. Why do you care? He's divorcing me, trying to cut me out completely. Something changes in Tyler's expression. Not quite sympathy, but close. I heard. From who? It's a small industry. Word gets around. Claire wraps her hands around her tea. I need to know what he's hiding. What makes you think he's hiding something? Because he always is. Tyler almost smiles. Fair point. Will you help me? He looks at her for a long moment. What's in it for me? What do you want? An apology would be nice. Claire sets her tea down. I'm sorry. I should have fought harder when he fired you. I should have stood up for you. But you didn't. No, I didn't. Why not? Because I was scared. Of him. Of losing everything. And now I've already lost everything, so I have nothing left to be scared of. Tyler looks out the window, watches people pass. What do you need? Access to company records, or someone who has access. I don't work there anymore. But you know people who do. Maybe. Can you reach out? What am I asking for? Anything that shows financial irregularities, unusual transfers, hidden accounts. Anything that proves he's been cooking the books. That's a tall order. I know. Tyler drums his fingers on the table. There was something. When I was there. A discrepancy in the quarterly reports. Numbers that didn't add up. Claire leans forward. What kind of numbers? Revenue projections versus actual deposits. The projections were always high. The deposits were always lower. How much lower? 10%, sometimes 15%. Where was the difference going? I don't know. I asked Daniel about it. He said it was accounting adjustments, reserves, normal business practice. But you didn't believe him? No. Did you push? Once. He told me to focus on my own work. And then he fired you. Tyler nods. 2 weeks later, Claire sits back, thinks. If there's missing money, there's a trail. Bank records, transfers, something. You need access to the company accounts. I don't have that. I know someone who might. Who? Sarah Kim. She works in accounting. She was there when I was. We stayed in touch. Will she help? I don't know, but I can ask. When? Give me a few days. Claire reaches across the table, puts her hand on his. Thank you. Tyler looks at her hand, then at her face. Don't thank me yet. This might be nothing. Or it might be everything. Yeah, or that. He stands, picks up his coat. I'll call you when I know something. Tyler? He stops. Why are you helping me? He thinks about it. Because he screwed both of us. And maybe it's time someone screwed him back. Then he walks out. Claire sits there, finishes her tea. It's cold now. She drinks it anyway. Her phone buzzes. Text from Elizabeth. Judge approved temporary support. $3,000 month pending final settlement. Account will be funded by Friday. Claire reads it twice. $3,000. It's not enough. But it's something. She texts back. Thank you. Then she stands and walks out into the cold. Tyler calls 4 days later. I talked to Sarah. And? She'll meet with you. But not at her place. Not anywhere public. Where? There's a park. Washington Park. Southeast corner. Tomorrow. 7 a.m. I'll be there. Claire? Yeah? Be careful. Sarah's taking a big risk. I know. If Daniel finds out, he won't. You don't know that. I'll be careful. Tyler hangs up. Claire sets the phone down. Looks at Amy, who's been listening from the couch. You're really doing this, Amy says. Yes. You know this could blow up in your face. I know. And you're doing it anyway. Yes. Amy shakes her head. You're either very brave or very stupid. Maybe both. Probably both. Claire sits next to her sister. I have to do this. Why? Because if I don't, he wins. He takes everything. And I get nothing. You're getting $3,000 a month. For now, until the settlement. Then I get $20,000 and I'm done. So fight him in court. I am. But I need leverage. This is more than leverage. This is war. Good. Amy looks at her. Really looks at her. You've changed, have I? Yeah, you're harder now. Colder. Maybe I have to be. Maybe. But don't lose yourself in this. Claire doesn't respond. They sit there. The TV plays quietly. Some cooking show. People making food they'll never eat. I'm going to bed, Amy says. You should too. I will. Claire? Yeah? I'm proud of you for fighting back. Thanks. Amy stands, walks to the bedroom, closes the door. Claire stays on the couch, turns off the TV, sits in the quiet. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., Washington Park. She'll be there. The park is empty when Claire arrives. Cold morning, gray sky. She walks to the southeast corner, finds a bench, sits. At 7:03, a woman approaches, mid-30s, dark hair pulled back, nervous eyes. Claire? Sarah? The woman nods, sits, keeps space between them. Thanks for meeting me, Claire says. I shouldn't be here. I know. If anyone finds out, they won't. Sarah doesn't look convinced. She pulls her coat tighter. Tyler said you need information. About company finances, specifically discrepancies between projected revenue and actual deposits. Sarah's jaw tightens. I can't give you internal records. I'm not asking for records, just confirmation. Is there missing money? Long pause. Then, yes. Claire's heart speeds up. How much? I don't know exactly. Maybe $1 million, maybe more. Over what period? 2 years, maybe 3. Where's it going? I don't know. Can you find out? Not without raising suspicion. What if you just look? Don't copy. Anything. Don't take anything, just look and tell me what you see. Sarah shakes her head. That's still risky. I know, and I'm asking anyway. Sarah looks at her. Why should I help you? Because it's the right thing to do. That's not a good enough reason. Then because Daniel's been stealing from the company. And if he's stealing from the company, he's stealing from everyone who works there. Including you. Sarah goes very still. What are you saying? I'm saying if the company goes under, you're out of a job. If the IRS audits, you're implicated. If investors find out, they sue, and you're caught in the middle. You're trying to scare me. I'm telling you the truth. Sarah stands. I need to think about it. How long? I don't know. Sarah, I said I need to think about it. She walks away. Fast. Claire watches her go. She sits there for 10 more minutes. Then she stands and walks back to the bus stop. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers. Hello? Claire Ashford? Yes. This is Detective Mark Chen, Chicago PD. I'm calling about a complaint filed against you. Claire stops walking. What complaint? Harassment and attempted unauthorized access to private property. What? I haven't. The complaint was filed by Daniel Ashford. He's claiming you've been contacting his employees, attempting to obtain proprietary information. Claire's stomach drops. That's not true. So you haven't been in contact with anyone from Ashford Industries? She doesn't answer. Ms. Ashford, am I being charged with something? Not at this time. This is just a courtesy call, but I need to advise you. Any further contact with Ashford Industries employees could result in a restraining order. Do you understand? Yes. Good. Have a nice day. He hangs up. Claire stands there, phone in her hand, people passing on the sidewalk around her. He knows. Daniel knows she's digging, and he's trying to stop her. She calls. Elizabeth. Did you talk to anyone from the company? Elizabeth asks immediately. Yes. Jesus, Claire, I told you. I know what you told me. Then why did you do it? Because I needed information. And now Daniel knows, which means he's going to bury everything. Delete files, destroy evidence. You just showed him your hand. I had to take the risk. No, you didn't. You could have waited. Let me handle discovery. Do this the right way. The right way takes too long. The right way protects you legally. I don't care about legally right now. Elizabeth goes quiet. Then, what did you find? Possible financial fraud, missing money, maybe over $1 million. Can you prove it? Not yet. Then it doesn't help us. It will. I just need more time. You don't have more time. He's going to shut this down, fast. Then I need to move faster. Claire, I have to go. Wait. Claire hangs up, keeps walking. Her phone rings again. She ignores. It rings 4 more times, then stops. A text comes in, from Elizabeth. Do not do anything else without talking to me first. Claire deletes it. She gets on the bus, rides it downtown, gets off at a stop near the library. Inside, she finds a computer, logs into her email, opens her sent folder, searches for Tyler's email address, finds it, copies it, opens a new message, types, Sarah just got contacted by Chicago PD. Daniel knows. We need to move now. Sends it. Then she logs out, clears the browser history, walks back outside. Her phone rings. Tyler, what the hell did you do? He asks. I met with Sarah, like you said. And now the police are involved? Daniel filed a complaint. He's trying to scare us off. It's working. Sarah called me. She's out. She won't help. Then we find another way. There is no other way. There's always another way. Not one that doesn't end with us in jail. Claire stops walking. Tyler, listen to me. If Daniel's stealing from the company, it's not just about me. It's about everyone. You, Sarah, every employee, every investor. I know that, so help me prove it. How? You still have access to the company server? Silence. Tyler, I might. What does that mean? It means I never deleted my credentials and Daniel never changed the admin passwords. Can you get in? Maybe, but if I do, if I access those files, that's illegal. Not if you're doing it to expose fraud. That's not how the law works. I don't care how the law works. I care about stopping him. Tyler breathes out slowly. You're asking me to commit a crime. I'm asking you to do the right thing. It's the same thing. No, it's not. Long pause. Then, if I do this, if I access those files, you can never say where you got them, ever. I won't. And if this goes wrong, I'm gone. You'll never hear from me again. Understood. Give me 48 hours. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. He hangs up. Claire puts her phone away, starts walking. She doesn't know where she's going, just away, from the library, from downtown, from the risk she just took. She walks for an hour, maybe more. The cold seeps in, but she doesn't stop. Finally, she finds herself in front of a coffee shop. She goes inside, orders coffee, sits by the window. Her phone buzzes. Text from Amy. "Where are you?" Claire texts back. "Coffee shop, downtown." "You okay?" "Yes." "Coming home soon?" "Maybe." "Claire, what are you doing?" "What I have to." No response. Claire sets her phone down, drinks her coffee, watches people pass outside. Ordinary people, people with ordinary problems, jobs, families, lives that make sense. She used to be one of them. Now she's sitting in a coffee shop in Denver, waiting for someone to commit a crime on her behalf so she can destroy her ex-husband. She finishes her coffee, orders another, sits there until dark. 47 hours later, her phone rings. "Tyler." "I'm in." Claire sits up. She's in Amy's apartment, on the couch. It's 3 a.m. "What did you find?" "You were right. There's missing money." "How much?" $1.6 million. Over 3 years. "Where did it go?" "Offshore account. Cayman Islands. The transfers are buried in operating expenses. Small amounts. 50,000 here, 70,000 there. Easy to miss if you're not looking. But you were looking." "Yeah." "Can you trace the account?" "Already did. It's registered to a shell company, LTM Holdings. Who owns it?" "Can't tell from the records. But the account was opened 4 years ago, right around the time Daniel brought Rebecca on as a consultant." Claire's chest tightens. "Rebecca. Maybe. Or Daniel. Or both. Can you send me the records?" "Not directly, but I can upload them to a secure server. Give you access." "Do it." "Claire, once I send these, I'm done. I'm deleting my access, wiping my trail. You're on your own." "I understand. And you can never say where these came from." "I won't. I'm serious." "So am I." Pause. Then, "Check your email in 10 minutes. He hangs up. Claire waits, counts seconds, watches the clock. At exactly 10 minutes, an email arrives from an address she doesn't recognize. No subject line, just a link. She clicks it. A password prompt appears. She types the password from Tyler's earlier text. The page loads. Files, dozens of them. Spreadsheets, bank statements, transfer records. She opens the first one, scans the numbers. There it is. Transfer, 50,000. Labeled equipment maintenance. Date, 3 years ago. Destination, account ending in 7743. She opens another file. The account details. LTM Holdings, registered in the Cayman Islands. Beneficial owner, undisclosed. She keeps reading. Transfer after transfer. Each one small enough to avoid attention. Each one labeled as a legitimate expense. Equipment, consulting fees, software licenses, travel. Expenses, all of it fake, all of it stolen. Claire sits back, stares at the screen. She has him. She picks up her phone, calls Elizabeth. It rings 6 times before she answers. "This better be important. I have evidence, financial records, proof of fraud." Silence. Then, "Where did you get them?" "I can't tell you." "Claire." "I can't, and you can't ask. Just tell me what to do with them." Elizabeth breathes out slowly. "Send them to me, encrypted. I'll review them. If they're legitimate, we include them in our filing." "They're legitimate." "I'll decide that. Send them now." Claire forwards the link, hangs up, sets the phone down. Then she opens her laptop, goes back to the files, reads every single one. By the time the sun rises, she knows exactly what Daniel did. And she knows exactly how to use it. Elizabeth calls at 9 a.m. "We need to meet, now." "I'll be there in an hour. Make it 30 minutes. Claire takes the bus, walks fast from the stop, reaches Elizabeth's office in 27 minutes. Elizabeth is waiting in the conference room, papers spread across the table. Her face is tight. "Sit." Claire sits. "Where did you get these?" Elizabeth asks. "I told you, I know what you told me, but I need to know how these were obtained, because if they were obtained illegally, we can't use them." They weren't. How do you know? Because the person who gave them to me had legitimate access. Had? Past tense? They don't work there anymore. But they had access when these were downloaded? Claire hesitates. Yes, you're lying. I'm protecting my source. Elizabeth slams her hand on the table. I don't care about your source. I care about whether a judge is going to throw these out as evidence. They won't. You don't know that. So what do we do? Elizabeth sits, rubs her face. We take a risk. We file these as part of discovery. We claim they were provided by a confidential source with knowledge of company operations. We don't name the source. We don't explain how they were obtained. And we pray the judge allows it. And if they don't, then we lose our leverage. And possibly the case. Claire looks at the papers. All those numbers. All that proof. What are our odds? 50-50. Maybe less. So we don't use them. If we don't use them, we have nothing. You understand? These records are the only proof we have that Daniel committed fraud. Without them, it's just your word against his. So we use them? Yes. When? Today. I'm filing an emergency motion, requesting an injunction to freeze company assets pending investigation. Will it work? Maybe. If the judge believes there's credible evidence of fraud. There is. We'll see. Elizabeth starts organizing the papers. You need to prepare yourself. Once we file this, Daniel's going to come after you. Hard. He'll accuse you of theft, industrial espionage, whatever he can think of. Let him. I'm serious. He has resources, lawyers, PR firms. He can make your life hell. He already has. Elizabeth looks at her. It can get worse. I don't care. You should. Why? What else can he take? He's already taken everything. Elizabeth doesn't answer. Claire stands. File the motion. Do whatever you need to do. I'm ready. I hope so. Claire walks out, takes the elevator down, steps into the Denver morning. Her phone rings immediately. Unknown number. She answers. Hello? Claire Ashford? Yes. This is Jennifer Marks, Daniel Ashford's attorney. We need to talk. I have nothing to say to you. You're making a mistake. Am I? Yes. Filing these fraud allegations. It's going to backfire. We'll see. Claire, listen to me. Daniel is willing to settle. Today. Right now. $100,000. Clean break. No litigation. But the offer expires in 2 hours. Tell Daniel to go to hell. You're throwing away money. I'm throwing away his insult. $100,000 is not an insult. It is when the company is worth $8 million. And he stole 1.6 from it. Silence. You didn't know, Claire says. He didn't tell you. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. Check the records, then call me back. Claire hangs up. She walks to the bus stop. Waits. The bus arrives. She gets on. Her phone rings again. Jennifer. Claire answers. That was fast. We need to meet. In person. Why? Because things just got complicated. For you or for Daniel. For everyone. Good. Claire. Please. Let's talk. Off the record. Where? My office. This afternoon. 3 o'clock. I'll bring my lawyer. Fine. Jennifer hangs up. Claire calls Elizabeth. Daniel's lawyer wants to meet. Today, 3 o'clock. Did you agree? Yes. Why? Because she's scared, which means we have leverage. Elizabeth pauses. I'll clear my schedule. Jennifer's office is downtown Chicago. Top floor. Glass walls. View of the lake. Claire and Elizabeth arrive at 2:58. The receptionist leads them to a conference room. Jennifer is already there, with 2 other people, a man in his 50s, suit, serious expression, and Rebecca Torres. Claire stops. What is she doing here? She asks. Jennifer stands. Rebecca is now an officer of the company. She has a vested interest in this matter. She's sleeping with my husband. Ex-husband, Rebecca corrects. Her voice is calm, cold. Technically. Claire takes a step toward her. Elizabeth's hand on her arm stops her. "Let's sit," Elizabeth says, voice steady, professional. They sit. Claire across from Rebecca, eye contact locked. "Thank you for coming," Jennifer says. "This is Robert Morrison. He's counsel for Ashford Industries. We asked you here because we've reviewed the documents your attorney filed this morning." "And?" Elizabeth asks. "And they raise serious concerns." "That's one way to put it," Elizabeth says. Jennifer ignores that. "Our clients are prepared to make a revised offer." "How revised?" $500,000, paid immediately, in exchange for dropping all fraud allegations and signing a non-disclosure agreement. "That's not even close," Elizabeth says. "It's fair market value for Ms. Ashford's 40% stake." "Based on what valuation?" $12 million. Pre-investment. The company is worth more now, with Rebecca's investment. That investment has strings attached. It complicates the valuation. Elizabeth leans forward. "Here's our counter. 50% of current company value, plus return of Claire's initial investment, plus damages for wrongful termination and fraud." Jennifer laughs. "That's absurd." "Is it? Your client stole $1.6 million from the company. That's documented. That's fraud. That's criminal. Those documents were obtained illegally." "Prove it." "We will. Good luck." Rebecca speaks for the first time. "Claire, can we talk? Just the two of us?" "No. It might help." "I doubt that. Please." 5 minutes. Claire looks at Elizabeth. Elizabeth shakes her head slightly. "Fine," Claire says. 5 minutes. They walk to an empty conference room down the hall. Rebecca closes the door. "I didn't know," she says immediately. "Didn't know what?" "About the money, the offshore account, any of it." "You expect me to believe that?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because it's the truth." Claire laughs. Hard, sharp. "You're sleeping with my husband. You took my job. You invested $3 million in the company he stole money from, and you expect me to believe you're innocent?" Rebecca's jaw tightens. "I am sleeping with Daniel. I'm not innocent of that, but I didn't know about the fraud, and I certainly didn't benefit from it. How do I know that? Because my investment is at risk too. If this goes public, if the IRS audits, I lose everything." "Good. Claire, don't say my name. Don't pretend we're friends. You destroyed my life. I fell in love with someone. That doesn't make me a villain. You fell in love with my husband. That makes you exactly a villain." Rebecca looks at her. "You didn't love him. Not really. You loved what he represented. Security, status, success. You don't know anything about me. I know you stayed in a marriage that was over. I know you pretended everything was fine when it wasn't. I know you built your identity around being his wife instead of being yourself." Claire's hand moves before she realizes it. The slap is sharp, loud. Rebecca's head snaps to the side. Her hand goes to her cheek. They stand there, breathing hard. "Feel better?" Rebecca asks. "No." "Good. Because this doesn't end here. It ends in court. And in court, facts matter. And the facts are, you own 40%. Daniel owns 60. You walked away from the company 3 years ago. I didn't walk away. He pushed me out. Can you prove that? Yes. Then do it. In court. With evidence. Until then, this is just noise." Rebecca opens the door, walks out. Claire stands there. Her hand stings. Her chest is tight. She walks back to the other conference room. Elizabeth is standing, papers in hand. "We're done here," Elizabeth says. "What happened?" Claire asks. "They threatened to countersue for defamation and theft of proprietary information." "Can they do that?" "They can try, but it won't work. We have evidence." Jennifer stands. "This is your last chance. Take the $500,000. Walk away. Or we bury you in litigation." Elizabeth turns to her. "See you in court." They walk out, into the elevator, down to the lobby. Outside. The Chicago air is cold, familiar. Claire breathes it in. That went well, Elizabeth says. Claire almost laughs. Did it? They're scared. That's why they're threatening. When people are scared, they make mistakes. What kind of mistakes? The kind we can use. They walk to Elizabeth's car, drive back to the office. Inside, Elizabeth spreads papers across the conference table. Here's what we're going to do, she says. We proceed with the fraud allegations. We request a full audit of company finances. We depose Daniel and Rebecca. And anyone else with knowledge of the transfers. How long will that take? 6 months, maybe longer. I don't have 6 months. You don't have a choice. Claire sits, puts her head in her hands. I can't do this for 6 months. Yes, you can. I'm broke. I'm living with my sister. I have nothing. You have $3,000 a month in temporary support. That's not enough. It's what you have. Claire looks up. What if I go public? Elizabeth freezes. What? What if I go public? Tell my story. The lockout, the divorce, the fraud, all of it. Absolutely not. Why not? Because it violates the NDA terms Daniel's proposing, and because it jeopardizes our case. We're not signing the NDA. Not yet, but if we go public now, we lose negotiating power. Or we gain it. Public pressure, media scrutiny, investors asking questions. Or it backfires. Daniel's team spins the story, makes you look vindictive, unstable, a woman scorned. I am a woman scorned. That's not the narrative we want. Claire stands, walks to the window, looks out at Chicago, the city that was hers, until it wasn't. I'm tired of waiting, she says. I know. I'm tired of playing by rules he doesn't follow. I know that too. So what do I do? Elizabeth joins her at the window. You do what you've been doing. You fight. You wait. You let the system work. And if the system doesn't work, then we find another way. There is no other way. There's always another way. Claire looks at her. You sound like me. Maybe I'm learning from you. They stand there. 2 women. 1 window. 1 fight. I'm going back to Denver, Claire says. When? Tonight. Call me if you need anything. I will. Claire walks out, takes the elevator down, steps onto the Chicago street. She pulls out her phone, books a flight, heads to the airport. 3 hours later, she's in Denver. Amy picks her up. They drive in silence. Claire stares out the window, watching the city pass. How did it go? Amy asks finally. Badly, then worse. Details? Daniel's lawyer offered $500,000. I said no. Why? Because it's not enough. Claire, don't. Don't tell me to take the money. Don't tell me to walk away. I wasn't going to. What were you going to say? Amy pulls into her apartment complex, parks, turns off the engine. I was going to say I'm proud of you. Claire looks at her. Why? Because you're fighting, not just for money, for something bigger, for yourself. Claire's throat tightens. I don't know who I am anymore. Yes, you do. No, I was Daniel's wife, Daniel's business partner, Daniel's accessory. Without him, I'm nothing. That's not true. Isn't it? Amy reaches over, takes Claire's hand. You're my sister. You're smart. You're strong. You're a fighter. You always have been. You just forgot. Claire squeezes her hand. Thank you. Come on. Let's go inside. I made dinner. They walk up to the apartment. Amy opens the door. The smell of cooking fills the space. Warm. Normal. Claire sits at the table, watches Amy plate food. They eat in comfortable silence. After, Claire helps clean up, washes dishes, dries them, puts them away. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers. Hello? Claire Ashford? Yes. This is David Chen from Channel 7 News. I'm doing a story on Ashford Industries. I'd like to get your perspective. No comment. I understand you're in the middle of a divorce, and there are allegations of fraud. No comment. If you don't tell your side, I can only tell his. That's fine. Ms. Ashford. Claire hangs up. Amy looks at her. Reporters? Yeah. How many have called? That's the third one today. What are they asking? Everything. The divorce, the company, the fraud allegations. What are you telling them? Nothing. Good. But maybe I should. Claire, maybe I should tell my story before Daniel tells his. Your lawyer said not to. I know. So don't. Claire sets the phone down. You're right. But she's not sure she means it. The news story airs 2 days later. Claire watches it on Amy's laptop. David Chen. Channel 7 News. Standing outside Ashford Industries headquarters. Questions tonight about financial irregularities at one of Chicago's rising tech companies. Sources say founder Daniel Ashford is facing allegations of fraud from his soon-to-be ex-wife. Cut to Jennifer Marks. Polished, confident. These allegations are completely baseless. Ms. Ashford is making desperate accusations in an attempt to extract a larger settlement. The company's finances are sound. We welcome any investigation. Cut to a financial analyst. If these allegations are true, it could spell serious trouble for Ashford Industries. Investors don't like uncertainty, and fraud allegations create a lot of uncertainty. Cut back to David Chen. Representatives for Claire Ashford declined to comment. The case is ongoing. Reporting from downtown Chicago, David Chen, Channel 7 News. The video ends. Claire closes the laptop. Her phone rings immediately. Elizabeth. Did you see it? Yes. They're controlling the narrative. I know. We need to respond. How? A statement. Something brief, professional. That confirms we're pursuing legitimate legal claims. Will that help? It's better than silence. Okay. Draft something. I'll review it. I'll send it in an hour. Elizabeth hangs up. Claire sits there, staring at the closed laptop, thinking about narratives, about control, about who gets to tell the story. Her phone buzzes. Text from a number she doesn't recognize. You should stop. Before you get hurt. She stares at it. Then another text comes through. Same number. I'm serious. Daniel doesn't lose. Claire deletes both messages. Her phone buzzes again. A photo this time. Her walking into Elizabeth's office. Taken from across the street. Recent. Yesterday, maybe. Her stomach tightens. Another text. You're being watched. Claire sets the phone down. Stands. Walks to the window. Looks out at the street below. Cars. People. Normal. But someone is watching. She closes the curtains. Sits back down. Her phone rings. She doesn't recognize the number, but she answers anyway. Hello? It's Robert. Daniel's head of security. The one who brought her things to the hotel. What do you want? I need to warn you. Daniel's hired a private investigator. Someone to dig into your life. Find leverage. Why are you telling me this? Because it's wrong. And because you should know. What are they looking for? Anything. Past relationships. Financial problems. Anything he can use against you. Claire's jaw tightens. There's nothing to find. Then you have nothing to worry about. But be careful. Watch what you say, who you talk to. They'll twist anything they can. Thanks for the warning. Claire? Yeah? I'm sorry for all of this. I should have done things differently. Yeah, you should have. She hangs up. Amy walks in. Who was that? Robert, Daniel's security guy. He says Daniel hired a private investigator. To do what? Find dirt on me. Will they? Claire thinks. I don't know. Maybe. What kind of dirt? I don't know. Anything he can use? Amy sits next to her. You're not perfect. None of us are, but you're not a bad person. That might not matter. It has to matter. Why? Because the truth matters. Because facts matter. Because you can't just destroy someone with lies. Claire looks at her. Yes, you can. People do it all the time. Not if you fight back. I am fighting back. Then keep fighting. Claire nods, but she's tired. So tired. Of fighting. Of being strong. Of pretending she's okay when she's not. Her phone buzzes. Email from Elizabeth. Subject. Statement. Please review. She opens it. Reads the draft. Claire Ashford is pursuing legitimate legal claims related to financial irregularities at Ashford Industries. These claims are supported by documented evidence. Ms. Ashford looks forward to presenting this evidence in court. She will not be commenting further at this time. Short, professional, safe. Claire types back, approved, send it. The statement goes out an hour later, picked up by 3 local news sites, posted on social media, shared and commented on. Claire doesn't read the comments. Instead, she opens her laptop, starts going through her emails again, looking for anything she missed, anything that could help. She finds something. An email from 3 years ago. From Daniel to the board. It's not really a board, just him and 2 friends who own small stakes, but he calls it a board. The email discusses transitioning Claire to a reduced role to bring in outside expertise. She reads it twice. 3 years ago. He was planning this 3 years ago. Before Rebecca, before the investment, before any of it. He was planning to push her out from the beginning. Claire forwards the email to Elizabeth with a note. Evidence of premeditation. Then she keeps searching. Hours pass. Her eyes burn. Her back aches. But she keeps going. Finally, she finds something else. A contract, dated 5 years ago, between Ashford Industries and LTM Holdings, for consulting services. LTM Holdings, the shell company, the one connected to the offshore account. The contract predates the fraud, which means the shell company existed before the theft, which means someone set it up. Deliberately, with intent. Claire saves the file, forwards it to Elizabeth. Her phone rings immediately. This is huge, Elizabeth says. I know. This proves the shell company wasn't created spontaneously. Someone planned this. Years in advance. Daniel. We still need to prove he controls the company. But this is a start. What do we do with it? We add it to the filing, and we request forensic accounting. Full audit, everything. Will the judge approve it? After seeing this? Probably. Claire exhales. Okay, good. Claire, you're doing good work here. I know this is hard, but you're building a real case. Thank you. Get some sleep. You sound exhausted. I am. Then sleep. We'll talk tomorrow. Elizabeth hangs up. Claire closes her laptop, stands, stretches. Her body hurts. Everything hurts. She walks to the bedroom. Amy is already asleep. Claire lies down on the other side of the bed, closes her eyes. Sleep comes slowly, then all at once. The judge approves the forensic audit 3 weeks later. Elizabeth calls with the news. We're in. Full audit. All company finances. 3-year look back. When does it start? 2 weeks. The auditors need time to prepare. What happens then? We wait. They review everything. Bank statements, transfer records, tax filings, everything. Then they issue a report. How long? 6 to 8 weeks. That's too long. It's standard. Daniel could destroy evidence. The court order prevents that. If he destroys anything, he's in contempt. He'll do it anyway. Maybe. But then we have him on obstruction. Claire sits down. So we wait. We wait. For 2 months. Yes. And in the meantime? In the meantime, you keep your head down. Don't talk to reporters. Don't contact anyone from the company. Don't do anything that could jeopardize the case. Okay. I'm serious, Claire. We're close. Don't screw this up. I won't. They hang up. Claire stares at her phone. 2 months, 8 weeks, 60 days. She can do that. She has to. The first month passes slowly. Claire stays in Denver, looks for work, applies to jobs, gets a few interviews, no offers. Her savings from Amy's transfers run low. The $3,000 a month covers basics, rent, food, nothing extra. She stops buying coffee, stops going out, stays in the apartment, reads, watches TV, waits. Tyler calls once, says he heard about the audit, wishes her luck, says he's moved on, new job, new life, doesn't want to be involved anymore. She understands. Sarah doesn't call at all. The news cycle moves on. Other stories, other scandals. Ashford Industries fades from headlines, which means Daniel is winning the PR battle. But Claire doesn't care about PR. She cares about the audit. 6 weeks in, Elizabeth calls. The auditors found something. Claire sits up. What? More offshore accounts. 3 of them. Total of $2.8 million. Jesus. It's bigger than we thought. Can they trace ownership? They're working on it. But the accounts are registered to multiple shell companies. It's complicated. But they'll figure it out. Eventually. But Claire, there's something else. What? One of the accounts has transactions going back 7 years, before you and Daniel were married. So? So if he was stealing before the marriage, it's not marital assets. It's his. Claire goes very still. What does that mean? It means we might not be able to claim it in the divorce. It's premarital conduct. But it's still fraud. Yes. But fraud against the company. Not against you personally. What's the difference? The difference is who gets to sue. If it's fraud against the company sues, not you. So, I get nothing? Not nothing. But less than we hoped. Claire stands, starts pacing. This is bullshit. I know. I was there, from the beginning. I built that company. I know, and we'll make that argument. But the law is clear. Premarital assets stay separate. Even if they were stolen? Even then. Claire throws her phone across the room. It hits the wall, bounces, lands on the carpet. Amy walks in. What happened? The audit found more money, but I might not get any of it. Why not? Because he started stealing before we were married. That's insane. That's the law. Amy picks up the phone, hands it back to Claire. What are you going to do? I don't know. You should call your lawyer back. I will. But she doesn't. Not right away. She sits on the couch, stares at the wall, thinks. Finally, she picks up her phone, dials. Elizabeth, what if I sue the company? What? What if I sue Ashford Industries directly? For fraud, for my investment, for my labor. You'd need standing. I was an investor. I was an employee. I have standing. You'd also need to prove damages. He stole from the company. The company's value is lower because of the theft. That damages me as a stakeholder. Elizabeth goes quiet. That's actually not a bad argument. So we do it? Let me research it. Call you back. She hangs up. Claire sits there, waiting. 2 hours later, Elizabeth calls back. It could work, but it's risky. Shuts. How risky? If we sue the company, we're suing Daniel and Rebecca, and anyone else with ownership stakes, including investors. So some of those investors have money, and lawyers. They might countersue. For what? Anything. Abuse of process, malicious prosecution. They'll claim you're using the courts to harass them. I'm not harassing them. I'm holding them accountable. I know that, but they won't see it that way. I don't care. You should, because if you lose, you could owe them money, legal fees, damages. How much? Hundreds of thousands, maybe more. Claire closes her eyes. So I could end up worse off than I started. Yes, but if I win? If you win, you get your investment back, plus damages, plus interest. Could be $1 million, maybe more. Claire opens her eyes. Do it. Claire, do it. File the lawsuit. You need to think about this. I have thought about it. For months, for years. I'm done thinking. I'm done waiting. File the lawsuit. Elizabeth sighs. Okay. I'll draft the complaint. We'll file next week. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. This could blow up in your face. Or it could work. Or that. They hang up. Claire stands, walks to the window, looks out at Denver, the mountains in the distance, snow-capped. Beautiful. She's betting everything on this. Her future, her reputation, everything. But she's done playing it safe. She pulls out her phone, opens her contacts, finds a name she hasn't called in months, dials, 3 rings. Then, hello? Hi, Mom. Silence. Then, Claire, is that you? Yeah, it's me. Oh my God, I've been so worried. I heard about the divorce. Are you okay? I'm fine. Are you? Really? Yes, I'm in Denver, staying with Amy. How long? I don't know. A while. What happened? Claire tells her. Not everything, but enough. The lockout, the divorce, the fraud, the audit. Her mother listens, doesn't interrupt. When Claire finishes, there's a long silence. Then, what do you need? Nothing. I just wanted to hear your voice. Claire, what do you need? Money, maybe. If things go badly, I might need help. How much? I don't know. Maybe a lot. I have some savings. Not much. But it's yours if you need it. Claire's throat tightens. Thank you. And Claire? Yeah? I'm proud of you. For fighting back. I don't feel proud. You should. Most people would have given up by now. I don't know how to give up. I know. You get that from me. Claire almost smiles. Yeah, I do. They talk for another hour. About nothing. About everything. When they hang up, Claire feels lighter. Just a little. But it's enough. The lawsuit is filed 8 days later. Claire versus Ashford Industries et al. The news picks it up immediately. Ex-wife sues tech company for fraud. Daniel's team responds within hours, a statement calling the lawsuit frivolous and vindictive. Rebecca is quoted saying, "This is harassment, pure and simple. We'll fight this vigorously." Claire doesn't respond. Elizabeth told her not to. Let the lawsuit speak for itself. But 2 days later, Daniel countersues. For defamation. For abuse of process. For malicious prosecution. He's asking for $2 million in damages. Elizabeth calls. He's bluffing. How do you know? Because he can't prove defamation. Truth is an absolute defense. And we have evidence. What about malicious prosecution? That's harder to prove. He asked to show you filed the lawsuit with no basis. We have a basis. So we're okay? For now. But this is going to get ugly. It's already ugly. It's going to get uglier. And it does. Daniel's lawyers file motion after motion, requesting dismissal, requesting sanctions, requesting Claire be ordered to pay their legal fees. Elizabeth fights every one. The judge denies most of them, but it's exhausting and expensive. Claire's legal bills climb. $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Elizabeth agrees to defer payment. We'll collect from the settlement if there is one. What if there isn't? Then we'll figure something out. But Claire knows what that means. She'll owe money she doesn't have, money she can't pay. 3 months into the lawsuit, her savings are gone. The $3,000 a month from temporary support covers rent and food. Nothing else. She stops buying new clothes, wears the same 3 outfits, stops coloring her hair, stops buying anything that isn't essential. Amy doesn't complain, but Claire feels like a burden. She applies for more jobs, gets more interviews, still no offers. Employers Google her name, find the news articles, the lawsuit, the accusations. No one wants to hire someone in the middle of a public legal battle, so she waits tables instead. A diner near Amy's apartment. Minimum wage plus tips. It's not much, but it's something. Her feet hurt. Her back hurts. But she shows up. Every shift. On time. One night a customer recognizes her. "Hey, aren't you that woman? The one suing her husband?" Claire doesn't answer. Just refills his coffee. "I saw you on the news," he continues. "Pretty crazy stuff. Can I get you anything else?" "Nah, just curious. You think you'll win?" "I don't know. Seems like a long shot. Rich guy like that. He's got all the lawyers. Claire sets the coffee pot down, looks at him. Maybe, but I'm still fighting. Why? Because it's right. The man shrugs. If you say so. He leaves a $2 tip. Claire pockets it, keeps working. 6 months after filing the lawsuit, the forensic audit report is finalized. Elizabeth calls. We have the report. And it's bad. For Daniel. How bad? 3.2 million in undocumented transfers, multiple offshore accounts, clear evidence of fraud. Can we prove he controlled the accounts? Not directly, but the auditors traced. The beneficial ownership structure, it leads back to a trust, and Daniel is the trustee. So we have him. We have enough to get to trial, but Claire, there's something else. What? Rebecca's investment. It came from one of the offshore accounts. Claire sits down. What? Her $3 million investment. It originated from an account connected to LTM Holdings, which means it might be laundered money. So she knew. Maybe. Or maybe she didn't check the source. Either way, it's bad for her. What does this mean? It means we can possibly claim the investment is illegitimate, which means her ownership stake is void. And then? And then your 40% becomes a much larger share of the company. Claire's heart races. How much larger? Depends on how the math works out, but possibly 53%. Majority control. Are you serious? I'm serious. But we have to prove the investment was fraudulent. And that's not easy. But we have the audit report. We do. And it's strong evidence. But Daniel will fight this, hard. Let him fight. Claire, if we go after Rebecca's investment, she'll come after you. Personally. She has resources. And she's motivated. I don't care. You should. Why? She took my husband. She took my job. She took my company. I'm supposed to care about her feelings now? I'm not talking about her feelings. I'm talking about her lawyers, her money, her willingness to destroy you. She can try. Elizabeth goes quiet. Then, okay. We go after the investment, but you need to be prepared. This is going to be a war. It's already a war. It's going to get worse. Good. They hang up. Claire sits there, staring at nothing, thinking about majority control, about winning, about finally getting what she's owed. Her phone buzzes, text from an unknown number. You should stop. She deletes it. Another text. Last warning. Delete. A call. Unknown number. She answers. Who is this? Breathing. Then a hang-up. Claire blocks the number, but 5 minutes later, another call. Different number. She doesn't answer. It keeps calling. Over and over. Different numbers each time. Finally, she turns off her phone. Amy walks in. You okay? Someone's harassing me. Who? I don't know. Anonymous calls, threats. You should report it. To who? The police. They won't do anything. You don't know that. Yes, I do. Amy sits next to her. This is getting dangerous. I know. Maybe you should back off. No. Claire. I said no. But I'm not backing off. I'm not stopping. I'm seeing this through. Amy looks at her. You've changed. I know. I'm worried about you. Don't be. How can I not be? You're obsessed with this. It's consuming you. It's all I have. That's not true. Yes, it is. I don't have a job. I don't have money. I don't have a home. All I have is this fight, this chance to make him pay. And what? If you lose? I won't. But what if you do? Claire doesn't answer. Amy stands. I'm going to bed. You should too. I will. But she doesn't. She sits there, in the dark, thinking about the audit, about the investment, about majority control, about winning. She has to win. There's no other option. The trial date is set for 3 months later, May 14th. Claire counts the days. 91, then 90, then 89. Elizabeth prepares. Briefs, motions, depositions, hours of work. Claire helps where she can, organizing documents, researching case law, whatever Elizabeth needs. At night she waits tables. During the day she works on the case. She doesn't sleep much. 4 hours, maybe 5. It's enough. 2 months before trial, Rebecca reaches out. A text from her personal number. "We should talk." Claire doesn't respond. Another text. "I'm serious, this doesn't have to go to trial." Claire blocks the number, but the next day Rebecca shows up at the Riu diner. She sits at the counter, orders coffee. Claire sees her but doesn't approach. Another waitress takes her order. Rebecca waits, drinks her coffee, doesn't leave. Finally, Claire's shift ends. She clocks out, walks toward the exit. Rebecca follows. "Claire, please." Claire keeps walking. "I want to settle." Claire stops, turns. "You want to what?" "Settle. End this. Before trial." "Why?" "Because it's not good for anyone. You, me, Daniel, the company. No one wins if this goes to trial. I win. Maybe, but you'll spend everything getting there. Legal fees, time, energy. Is it worth it?" "Yes." Rebecca steps closer. "I'm offering you a deal. $1 million. Cash. Today. You drop the lawsuit, sign an NDA, walk away." "No." "Claire," I said no. "Why not? $1 million. That's more than you'd get if you win." "I don't want $1 million. I want the company." Rebecca's expression hardens. "That's not going to happen." "We'll see." "No, we won't. Because I won't let it. I've invested too much, worked too hard. I'm not handing you control. You don't have a choice." "Yes, I do. And I'm choosing to fight." "Good. See you in court." Claire walks away. Rebecca doesn't follow, but that night, Claire gets a call. "Elizabeth. Did you talk to Rebecca Torres today?" "She ambushed me at work." "What did she say?" "She offered $1 million to settle." "And you said?" "No." Elizabeth sighs. "Claire, $1 million is a good offer. I don't want $1 million. I want the company. You might not get the company. You understand that, right? This is a long shot. I don't care. You should, because if you lose, you get nothing. Worse than nothing. You'll owe legal fees, court costs, maybe damages if Daniel's countersuit succeeds. I won't lose? You don't know that." "Yes, I do." "How?" "Because I'm right. And he's wrong. And that has to matter." "It doesn't always matter. Not in court." "Then the system is broken." "Maybe. But it's the system we have." Claire closes her eyes. "I'm not settling." "Okay, then we go to trial. But Claire, you need to prepare yourself for the possibility that you lose." "I won't. But if you do, I won't." Elizabeth goes quiet. Then, "Okay, I'll see you next week. We need to prep." They hang up. Claire sits on Amy's couch, stares at the ceiling. She won't lose. She can't. The trial begins on May 14th, a Tuesday, cold for May. Claire wears a navy suit, the same one she wore the day Daniel locked her out. She's lost weight. The suit hangs loose now. Elizabeth meets her outside the courthouse. "Ready?" "Yes." "Remember, don't react. Don't speak unless I tell you to. Let me handle everything." "Okay." They walk inside, through security, up to the 3rd floor, courtroom 312. Daniel is already there, with Jennifer and 2 other lawyers. He looks good, confident. He doesn't look at Claire. Rebecca sits next to him, wearing red, bold. She sees Claire and smiles, not friendly, victorious. Claire sits, Elizabeth next to her. They wait. The bailiff calls the court to order. The judge enters. A woman, mid-60s, sharp eyes, Judge Patricia Morrison. All rise. They stand. Then sit. Judge Morrison reviews her notes. "We're here for Claire Ashford vs. Ashford Industries. Ms. Hart, you may proceed with your opening statement." Elizabeth stands, walks to the center of the courtroom. "Your Honor, The evidence will show that Daniel Ashford systematically defrauded his own company over a period of 7 years. He created shell companies, opened offshore accounts, transferred millions of dollars, and he did it all while my client, his wife, and business partner trusted him. She pauses. Claire Ashford invested everything in Ashford Industries, her money, her time, her labor, and in return she was locked out, cast aside, offered pennies while Mr. Ashford and his new partner enriched themselves with stolen funds. This case is about accountability, it's about justice, and it's about ensuring that those who cheat don't profit from their crimes. Elizabeth sits. Jennifer stands. Your Honor, the plaintiff's claims are based on fabricated evidence obtained through illegal means. There is no fraud, there is no theft. There is only a vindictive ex-wife using the courts to punish her ex-husband for moving on. The evidence will show that Claire Ashford had minimal involvement in the company for years. She was a passive investor at best, and when her marriage ended, she weaponized the legal system to extract money she didn't earn. We ask the court to dismiss this case with prejudice and award damages to the defendants for the harassment they've endured. Jennifer sits. Judge Morrison looks at both sides. I've reviewed the pleadings. This case will proceed. Ms. Hart, call your first witness. The plaintiff calls Dr. Leonard Wu, forensic accountant. A man in his 50s approaches the stand, takes the oath, sits. Elizabeth approaches. Dr. Wu, can you please describe your findings from the audit of Ashford Industries? Of course. We identified $3.2 million in unauthorized transfers from company accounts to offshore entities over a 7-year period. Can you trace the destination of these funds? Yes. The funds were transferred to accounts controlled by shell companies registered in the Cayman Islands and Panama. Can you identify who controls these shell companies? Based on beneficial ownership records, the companies are controlled by a trust. The trustee of that trust is Daniel Ashford. Murmurs in the courtroom. So, Mr. Ashford controlled the accounts that received the stolen funds? Objection, Jennifer says. Assumes facts, not an evidence. Sustained, Judge Morrison says. Rephrase, Ms. Hart. Dr. Wu, who controlled the accounts that received the transferred funds? Based on the documentation, Daniel Ashford. Thanks, you. No further questions. Jennifer stands. Dr. Wu, did you personally see Mr. Ashford make any of these transfers? No. Did you see him access these offshore accounts? No. So you can't definitively state that he personally stole the money? I can state that he controlled the accounts that received the money. But you can't state that he personally made the transfers? Correct. No further questions. Dr. Wu steps down. The trial continues. Witness after witness. Bank records, transfer documents, emails. It takes 3 days. On day 4, Claire testifies. She takes the stand, takes the oath, sits. Elizabeth approaches. Ms. Ashford, can you describe your role in Ashford Industries? I was a co-founder. I invested $150,000. I worked in operations. I hired employees. I built systems. I was there from the beginning. And what happened to your role over time? It diminished. Daniel brought in new people, transferred my responsibilities. Eventually, I was pushed out completely. Did you consent to this? No. What happened on February 12th of this year? Claire's hands tighten on the armrests. I was locked out of the office, without warning, without my coat, in February. Can you describe what that felt like? Objection, Jennifer says. Irrelevant. Your Honor, it goes to state of mind and damages, Elizabeth argues. I'll allow it. Elizabeth nods. Ms. Ashford, it felt like betrayal, like everything I'd built meant nothing, like I meant nothing. Thank you. No further questions. Jennifer stands, approaches. Ms. Ashford, isn't it true that you and Mr. Ashford were having marital problems for years? Yes. And isn't it true that you stopped actively working at the company 3 years ago? That's not accurate. I was still involved. But your responsibilities had decreased? Yes. And you knew about this? Yes. So you weren't surprised when you were Terminated? Claire hesitates. I was surprised by how it happened. But not that it happened? Yes or no, Ms. Ashford? No, I wasn't surprised. So this lawsuit isn't about fraud, it's about revenge. Objection. Sustained. But the damage is done. Jennifer smiles. No further questions. Claire steps down, returns to her seat next to Elizabeth. You did fine, Elizabeth whispers. But Claire doesn't feel fine. She feels exposed, broken. The trial continues for 2 more days. Closing arguments, rebuttals. Then it's over. Judge Morrison takes it under advisement, says she'll issue a ruling in 30 days. Claire walks out of the courthouse, into the cold May air. She's done everything she can. Now she waits. The ruling comes 28 days later, a Friday. Elizabeth calls. The judge ruled. Claire's heart stops. And we won. What? We won. The judge found clear evidence of fraud. She's ordering Daniel to return the stolen funds to the UCU company, and she's voiding Rebecca's investment. What does that mean? It means your 40% stake is now worth significantly more, and you're entitled to damages for wrongful termination. How much? The judge awarded you $1.8 million, plus your original investment back, plus legal fees. Claire sits down, can't speak. Claire, are you there? I'm here. You won. I won. Yes. Claire starts crying. She doesn't mean to, but the tears come anyway. Relief, exhaustion, joy. Thank you, she says. You did this, not me. No, you did this. We did it together. They hang up. Claire sits there, crying. Amy walks in, sees her face. What happened? I won. Amy hugs her, hard. They stand there, 2 sisters, holding each other. I'm so proud of you, Amy says. I couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you could have, but I'm glad you didn't have to. They pull apart, sit on the couch. What happens now? Amy asks. I don't know. I get the money. I figure out what's next. Are you staying in Denver? Maybe. I don't know. You could go back to Chicago. Maybe. Or you could start something new. Somewhere else. Claire thinks about that. Somewhere else. Somewhere that isn't Chicago or Denver, or tied to Daniel or the past. Somewhere new. Maybe, she says. Her phone rings. Elizabeth. Daniel's appealing. Claire's stomach drops. What? He filed a notice of appeal. He's claiming the judge erred, that the evidence was insufficient. Can he do that? Yes. Anyone can appeal. What are our chances? Good. The judge's ruling was sound. The evidence was strong, but appeals take time. How much time? 6 months, maybe a year. Claire closes her eyes. So, this isn't over. Not yet. Will it ever be over? Eventually, but not today. They hang up. Claire tells Amy. He's appealing. Of course he is. So I have to wait again. Yes. For another year. Maybe. Claire stands. Walks to the window. Looks out at Denver, the city that's been her refuge, her prison, her home. She's tired of waiting, but she'll do it anyway, because she has no choice. The appeal is denied 9 months later, on a Wednesday in February, almost exactly 2 years since Daniel locked her out. The appellate court upholds the lower court's ruling. Daniel is ordered to pay immediately. No further appeals. It's over. Claire receives the settlement 3 weeks later. $1.8 million, plus her original investment, plus legal fees, minus Elizabeth's cut and taxes. She ends up with $1.3 million. It's more money than she's ever had. It's not enough to buy back the years, the trust, the life she had. But it's something. She pays Amy back. For rent. For food. For everything. Amy tries to refuse. Claire insists. She donates $50,000 to a women's shelter. For women leaving bad situations. Women who need help. She pays off her debts, all of them. Then she looks for work. Real work, not waiting tables. Something that uses her skills. She finds a position at a mid-sized tech company. Operations director, good salary, better benefits. She takes it. She moves into her own apartment. Small, nothing fancy, but it's hers. She buys new clothes, gets her hair done, starts taking care of herself again. Slowly, she rebuilds. One day at a time, one choice at a time. 3 months after the appeal is denied, Claire gets a call. From Robert. I thought you should know. Ashford Industries filed for bankruptcy. Claire sits down. When? Last week. Daniel couldn't recover from the judgment. Lost his investors. Lost his contracts. The company collapsed. And Daniel, he's finished. Reputation destroyed. No one will work with him. And Rebecca? She left, moved to California, started over. Claire doesn't say anything. I'm sorry, Robert says. I know it's not the ending you wanted. What ending did I want? I don't know. Justice, maybe? I got justice. The court ruled in my favor. But the company's gone. Your investment, the work you put in, it's all gone. I know. So was it worth it? Claire thinks about that. Was it worth it? The fight, the cost, the years of her life? Yes, she says finally. Why? Because I stood up. I fought back. I didn't let him win. But he didn't lose everything. Neither did you. You both just lost. Maybe. But I can live with that. Can you? Yes. They hang up. Claire sits there, thinking about winning and losing and what any of it means. She didn't destroy Daniel. She just held him accountable. She didn't get the company. She got justice. It's not the ending she imagined, but it's the ending she got, and that's enough. 6 months later, Claire starts her own company, a consulting firm, helping businesses build operations, systems, infrastructure. She uses her settlement money to fund it, hires a small team, rents office space. It's scary. Starting over, building something new, but she does it anyway, because that's what she does. She builds, she fights, she survives. The company grows, slowly at first, then faster. Clients come, word spreads. She's good at what she does. A year in, she hires 10 employees, then 20. She doesn't work crazy hours, doesn't sacrifice her life for the business. She learned that lesson. Instead, she builds something sustainable, something balanced, something that doesn't consume her. 2 years in, her company is profitable, successful. She's made it. On the anniversary of the lockout, 4 years later, Claire walks past the building where Ashford Industries used to be. The lobby is empty. The lights are off. A for lease sign hangs in the window. She stops, looks at it. Then she keeps walking. She doesn't need to go inside, doesn't need to reclaim anything. That building isn't hers anymore. It never really was. What's hers is what she built after. The company, the life, the person she became. She gets on the train, rides it across the city, gets off at her stop. Her office is 3 blocks away. Small building, 3rd floor. Her name on the door, not Ashford, just Claire Hart, her maiden name, the name she took back. She walks in. Her assistant looks up. Morning. Morning. Coffee's ready, and you have a meeting at 10. Thanks. Claire walks to her office, sets her bag down, looks out the window. The city stretches out below her. Chicago, the city that was hers, then wasn't, then was again. She doesn't think about Daniel anymore, doesn't wonder where he is or what he's doing. That part of her life is over. This part, this new part, is just beginning. She sits down, opens her laptop, starts working, because that's what she does. She works, she builds, she survives, and she does it on her own terms. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Mr. Douglas Tales, where powerful stories unfold one moment at a time.